2 years ago, I interviewed Gaza journalist Sami Abu Salem at length about his life, his inheritance, and his hopes. He shared his mother's story of violent expulsion from her childhood home in the Palestinian Nakba of 1948, his own Gaza childhood, how he learnt about his family inheritance of dispossession, how he astonishingly found himself back in his mother's lost village, and memorably, for those who've seen the film that came from this interview, Gaza, A Story of Love and War, he shared with us his dream of return and hope for coexistence.
And if I have my opportunity to go back to my home or to the home of my grandfather, to the orchards of lemon and almond and wheat, I will go back and I will live peacefully and I will prevent any Palestinian to make anything. Khalas, what is my goal is to live normal life. I am as a human. I'm looking for a human life, period. That's it. This is the main point.
As Sami spoke 2 years ago, Hamas was finalizing its bloody invasion of Israel, which it launched just 10 days later. Now, after 2 years of state aggression that has horrified and outraged the world, Sami reports and reflects on 2 years surviving under life-changing violence. We still message each other regularly, and the other day I sent this. I cannot imagine what you must do to survive from one day to the next. And just to offer a crumb of hope, I added, one day we will meet face to face, and you can tell me everything. But Sami didn't wait for that day. Immediately he started sending audio messages, which continued for nearly an hour. It was his most comprehensive account yet of life in the rubble and bloodshed of Gaza. Here it is now.
Mike, if I have time to speak, I will speak for days and days and nights. But I got the moment which I have Wi-Fi. So I seize it to talk to you.
I've lost track of how many times in the past 2 years Sami and his family, wife, mother and 4 children, have been forcibly displaced within the Gaza Strip. It's surely well into double figures. In recent months he's been sheltering in the heart of Gaza City itself, resigned to escaping back to the south as soon as Israel's threatened destruction of that city, one of the oldest in the world, is unleashed. But to escape, he needed transport.
I called several drivers. They said, okay, we are coming. But then they do not come. They say, no, you are in a very risky place. We are not coming, because I was in the northern part of Gaza Strip, northwest. So they didn't come. While I'm waiting for the last one, who has a tuk-tuk, not a car, I was waiting just there. About 20 to 30 meters from me, there was a rocket hit people at the entrance of a house. I rushed there. I saw 2 people killed and the woman was bleeding. Then I escaped again because I expected another strike at the same place. The Israelis hit a place. After a couple of minutes, they hit it again to kill more people as much as they can. Because some people could gather to help, like first responders, ambulance, whatever. For transportation, I paid about $1,000. Despite it is just 15 kilometers. And we have no cash. It is a dilemma. The Israeli restrictions on cash is killing people, not killing Hamas. Anyway, we are safe now. We are lucky we survived. While we are moving in the tuk-tuk, the tricycle, I have seen thousands of people who were driving, some people on bicycles, some people in donkey carts, carts pulled by donkeys, some people on trucks, in lorries, in vans, and other people were walking who have no money. They were walking, mothers carrying babies, fathers carrying kids, sisters carrying little brothers and so on. They were carrying their beloved and have a seat. I saw also people who could not continue moving, so they dropped some belongings at the seashore and stayed there. They could be killed by the Israeli Marine, but they have no other choice. I do not know what happened with them. I felt guilty why I could not help them. And also I felt guilty because I'm leaving Gaza.
Of course, Sami is escaping Gaza City, but not the Gaza Strip. There's no escape. It's often called the world's largest open-air prison, but perhaps Gaza will now be called a concentration camp.
I felt embarrassed. I felt shame. I felt guilty because I'm a journalist. I'm leaving Gaza and my people is in need for me to stay in Gaza. I should have stayed there to tell the world what is running, to tell the truth, to tell the world that the Israelis are killing ordinary people. There are no fights, there are no clashes, there are nothing. They are just big machines, jet fighters, tanks, shooting, helicopters, and quadcopters and snipers are just killing ordinary people just for them to leave. Just for them to leave. They are not fighting Hamas. I am, as a journalist, I should have stayed there to tell the truth to the world. But I could not stay because I should stay with my kids. My kids is the top priority. So now there is a struggle in myself, in my heart, in my mind, to stay in Gaza, to tell, to make reports, to tell the world what is running. It must be like this, yes, or to stay with your kids. So I have something like schizophrenia. What to do? Then I decided to stay beside my elderly mother and my kids. I should have stayed there to tell the world that the people who survived from Holocaust are practicing the same in Gaza now. And in the West Bank, by the way. Thousands and thousands of families did not leave Gaza City for several reasons. There is no room in central or southern Gaza Strip. They say, if we move, where to go? To sleep in the street? To sleep in open air? We have girls, they need the toilet, they need shower. I will not leave. I will stay here to protect the privacy of my daughters and wives and so on. And the rest are children and women. When they move, they should carry with them some stuff like mattresses, blankets, pillows, water, food, clothes, because winter is coming. They cannot carry anything. They cannot take anything. They cannot move. They are still in Gaza simply because they cannot leave Gaza. They are not challenging the Israeli army, but they cannot leave. And thousands of families like this. I'm talking about people who are personally I know them. They are stuck there. They could be killed anytime, simply. And nobody cares, and no press there, Because journalists are targeted, as you know. Now most of the journalists are concentrated west of Gaza City, near Al-Shifa hospital. They go there for looking for electricity and Wi-Fi. And it is very risky to move. Today I called a family who are staying in Gaza City, and they said they do not know what is running around them. They cannot even look from the window or look from the balcony. They hear the tanks around them. They hear explosions. They hear the quadcopter which is shooting at any mobile body in the street. They would like to escape, but they cannot. They are afraid. If they escape, if they flee their house to move to another place, they are scared to be killed in the street, and they are scared to stay at home because they expect anytime any rocket. So they cannot do anything. They cannot give any signal that they are inside. Otherwise, they will be targeted. There is one has written on Facebook an example, and he said, I did not leave, I cannot leave, I would like to leave, but I cannot, I'm staying my home, please help me. After a couple of hours, he was hit and killed. So even people are scared even to send an appeal to be helped. You know. A family has been hit, and the first responders managed to go there to her house. I mean, a mother and her kids, and they hear their voice under rubble. But the first responders could not do anything because the rubble is very, very big concrete pieces of concrete. Simply they died. Suffocation or once. Simply they died because no evacuation.
Sami Abu Salem feels torn for abandoning the hell of Gaza City to protect his children. He is no longer witnessing the destruction of that 5,000-year-old city and its people. Instead, now he is reporting life and death in an Israel-designated humanitarian zone, another circle of hell.
Now I'm in Al-Maghazi refugee camp, and I see people at the entrance of the camp. There is a place where the municipality collect garbage. I do not know what to say it in English. Where the municipality collect garbage, heaps of garbage, and people settled it. I mean, they put and settled their tents on the garbage. Yeah, on the garbage itself in Al-Maghazi. And they are suffering from dirty, from smell, from insects, from ants, from mosquito. Because they have no other option. There are some places they can, there are some places which they are clean, but it is closer to the Israeli army, so it is risky. I'm lucky I have water 1 day a week. People who do not have water, they carry their gallons and walk about 1 kilometer or half or less or more to fill the gallons, to carry the gallons to the tent to continue their life for drinking or for washing. Now I have to move in central areas to collect some info and meet people, but I need transportation. No transportation. There are some vehicles are moving by using locally manufactured fuel, which is called diesel or gasoline, which is not true. That's why transportation is horrible. And I do not know the drivers. And the drivers ask horrible money. If I call somebody, he'll say, okay, $200. So even our work as journalists is restricted by risks or the high money we should pay. I was awake about 2 o'clock in the early morning, and I heard an explosion. I did not know what is happening, what happened. So in the morning, about 8 o'clock, I realized that the Israelis hit the house in Al-Nusayrat, central Gaza Strip, and killed 11 people, 11 family members. They are not in Gaza City. They are not in the north. They are in central Gaza Strip, where the Israelis told people, and the spokesperson of the Israeli occupation forces told people to go to the central and the south. People can go to Nusayrat, Al-Burej, Al-Maghazi, Deir Al-Balah, central Gaza Strip, and Khan Yunis. So early morning 11, and 2 days ago, another family, the same number, were killed also, not the same number, 8 people, including 4 kids and 2 women, were killed in Al-Burej refugee camp, which is designated as human area, classified by Israeli army as a human area. And people moved there, then they have been killed. So they are liars. They ask people to go to places as a human area, then they are killed in the human areas. Till now also, killing people who are trying to bring food from the distribution centers is continuing. I mean, people after 2 years, still hungry. Now there is a starvation, but the real starvation were in April, May, June, July, August. There were real starvation, and people really, I was very hungry. Now it is better. Now we have some food, yes, in the market. But people do not have money. People do not have money after 2 years of siege and war. Some people go to distribution centers and they to grab some food, but they are killed there. Some have killed there, yeah. Yesterday, I think 13 were killed. I should verify the number. But in general, every day, people are killed near the distribution center. So everywhere, killing. If you are hungry and going to bring food, you will be killed. If you stay in your tent, you are killed. If you are in the north, you are killed. If you are in the central area, human area, you are killed. You are walking in the street, you are killed. If you are a paramedic trying to save people, you are killed. So bloodshed is running, and nobody can curb the Israeli killing machine.
If you are in Gaza, you may soon die. That is hard, but until you die, you must live. And that is also hard. I don't have words for what Sami shares next. He must care for his elderly mother, Fatima, who needs sanitary pads as there is no toilet for her.
You know, nowadays, I have my mother and I need diapers. If you know somebody is coming to Gaza, we need diapers for elderly. Last month, there is no diapers for children and for elderly. Now there are some diapers in the market for children. It is very expensive, of course, one bag for about $100. But till now, I didn't see diapers for elderly, which means very difficult for us how to clean, how to take. My mother do not go to the toilet, so we have to be to take care of her, and it make us exhausted. And use lots of water at the time of shortage of water. These details, this is the daily life. Each one single piece, about $10. Imagine. My mother needs about 4 or 5 pieces a day. A day. What to do? And we have no cash. If I find the appears in the market, which is impossible, it means that there is somebody who had, and the elderly died, and he would like to sell the rest.
Such are the conditions of life in Gaza. Your elderly parent dies, leaving some unused sanitary pads. You take them to market, hoping someone will buy them for their relative. Then you can have some money, so that your children can eat. Article 2C of the United Nations Genocide Convention defines the following act as genocidal: deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part.
It is irrelevant to Netanyahu, who decides when I should have a shower. Netanyahu decides what I have to eat, because we eat what enters from the crossings. And he changes, the Israeli army, from time to time. Sometimes allow flour, sometimes allow sugar, sometimes prevent sugar, sometimes allow canned food, sometimes prevents. And sometimes we don't have powder milk for kids, sometimes we have. There is nothing stable. There is an important point. Before 7th of October, we were in a siege, and every day from 500 to 600 trucks enters Gaza with goods. Before the 7th of October, and the 500 or 600 trucks were not enough. Nowadays, 50 trucks, maybe 100, maybe 150. The Israelis film that and say, you see, we enters lots of goods. Before 7th of October were 600 trucks, and they were not enough. What about now? Even tents. I met Gallo, it is media officer of OCHA, and we asked them why do not work. There is shortage of tents. She told us there are lots of goods for UNRWA, for UN agencies at the crossings. The Israelis do not allow us to go there to bring them. The Israelis says, no, go back. You are not allowed. That driver, we do not know. This man is not good. Let him go back. It is cancelled. So the restriction on human organization is one of the main obstacles. There are tents at the borders, more than 80,000 tents, but the Israelis do not allow. They allowed about 2,000 or 3,000 tents for some organizations, like Qatari or Emirati organizations, but they did not allow about 80,000 tents for UNRWA and UN organizations. So they film the access of 2,000 or 3,000 tents, but they do not film banning 80,000 tents.
Nearly 2,400 years ago, Sun Tzu, the Chinese military general, wrote this: "All warfare is based on deception." When Sun Tzu wrote his Art of War, Gaza was already an ancient city. Sami has just reported a classic deception in the propaganda war that we're all subject to. Where will the tens of thousands it is driving out of Gaza City sleep tonight? Israel films the 2,000 or 3,000 tents it allows into Gaza and denies the 80,000 tents it is blocking at the Gaza border. And now Sami turns to a potentially deadly deception that he is fearing in his new refuge in Al-Maghazi.
Now I'm living in a nightmare. Why? Because I'm living in a place in Al-Maghazi, and I expect any time the Israelis will order us to evacuate Al-Maghazi. Where I have to go? I have no place, and I even have no tent, and I will sleep in the street with my elderly mother and with my wife, my daughters. We'll sleep in the street in open air. We will not find a place to pee, a place to go to toilet, no toilet. So it is a nightmare. Every single time I hear shooting, I hear from helicopter or whatever. I'm living in a nightmare. What to do if the Israelis ask us to do so? Or the Israelis will send one of their collaborators to shoot 2 grenades which are called as rockets, Palestinian rockets. They are not rockets, in fact. They are pipes stuffed with some stupid things. They destroy nothing. Anyway, one of the collaborators, what we believe, you know. The collaborators shoot 1 or 2 grenades towards Israel, and the Israelis say, Hamas terrorists shoot rockets, so leave your place, we are going to hit Hamas in your place. I expect that any time, and if it happened, it would be disastrous for me. Where I should sleep, in which street, near the seashore, or in a road, in a street, and actually there is no room to stay in. It means that we will not sleep, we will stay standing up.
Sami reminds us how, for Netanyahu, Hamas is the gift that keeps on giving, the enemy that can be used to justify every conceivable military escalation. But now, for the first time, he directly shares with us his own attitude to Hamas, an act of courage for any Gaza journalist.
By the way, there are lots of voices people in Europe do not hear. They do not hear the voice of people who refuses Hamas. Ordinary people, I mean. And they feel angry when they hear that Netanyahu says, we are going to kill Hamas, we are to finish the Hamas. Ordinary people here feel angry. Why Netanyahu is talking about Hamas? He's fighting us. He's killing us, not Hamas. You know? So this war is not against Hamas. But the 7th of October, I believe, and lots of people like me believe, that the 7th of October is a gift from God, from the sky to Netanyahu, to do whatever he wants. And we believe that that the Israeli security had an idea about that, and they closed their eyes. How they kill Haniya and Hamas leaders in Iran and in Doha and blah, blah, blah. They do not know about the 7th of October, despite lots of collaborators for Israel in Gaza. Do you think that Netanyahu till now do not know where are the hostages, the 20 hostages? I am one of the people who are calling Hamas to hand the hostages to Israel. And yesterday I have written it on my Facebook. It is fruitless. It is a matter that Netanyahu used them to continue his war against Gaza. Hostages. Like President Mahmoud Abbas told Hamas, leave them, free the hostages. And I believe the same idea. Hamas should hand the hostages and let them back to their homes. Even months ago, even in the beginning of war, especially at that time when they detained children and women, we feel embarrassed, shameful. Why they are detaining children and women? Even civilians in general. It is not a heroic act. Anyway, now there are hostages. I think Hamas should release them, but it doesn't mean that Netanyahu will stop. I do not think so. But Netanyahu is happy that Hamas is still detaining them, to use them as justification to continue his killing to us, and to force us to leave Gaza Strip, to go Sinai, to go wherever, to go to any other place. This is one of the voices media do not focus on.
As these reports were coming in from Sami, I decided it was time to ask a question I had often thought of, but never felt right to ask, knowing how dedicated Sami is to Palestine. This is what I messaged him. I have a question for you, Sami. If you had a chance to leave Gaza with your family, would you take it? It would probably mean you could never return. I do not know if such an opportunity will exist, but if it did, would you take it?
My focus is on my family, to protect them from killing. If they could manage to leave, if you help me to let them leave Gaza with me or without me, I would be really appreciated, because it is a big favor, because I would protect them. Even the war, why? Because even the war finished, which I doubt. Even the war finished, it doesn't mean that life will come back again normally, because Gaza is flattened and no future, no education, no schools, no universities, no work. There is nothing. So they are losing their future here. And no health service, of course, and no economy. How they will manage their life. Our life upside down. Just before war, my son, who is now 18 years, but his mentality has become about 30 because difficulties he faced. He used to go to institute to train how to use lute and music. And other one was playing football, would like to be a goalkeeper. But now they are busy in collecting wood for fire. 1 kilo of wood has about $2 to $3, and it is not a real wood. It is just smashed windows and doors and tables. We use wood for cooking, by the way. No gas, no fuel, nothing in Gaza. We are living in the Stone Age. Anyway, so I appreciate it. Please help me to help my family to leave Gaza. Not only because of war, but also because of future. They are losing their future. I need to keep them. I need to help them to keep their humanity. They lost their humanity. They lost their childhood. They lost their future. They lost things they have learned in the school. This is the second or the third year without schools. They forgot everything. I try to teach them at home. I do my best. Teach them some Arabic, some English, grammar, English tenses, prepositions, and things like this. But they cannot absorb. And I cannot teach anymore. I am so exhausted. They forgot everything. Forgot science. Forgot mathematics. Now they are in need to go back to school from the second or the third grade, maybe. So leaving Gaza is one of my priorities nowadays, and please help. Some people try to help me, but they said, we are sorry, you don't have a passport. And other people said, we cannot because you are not staff. Despite my kids are pressurizing me and told me, Dad, you are a very small journalist. Why lots of journalists left Gaza to Europe or wherever or to Egypt, but you don't. You are not important journalist, maybe. And they are cornering me. I'm losing my sovereignty on them. The level of respect they used to deal with me is going down. And it is a hint that I will lose controlling them, which is a disaster. So if you help us to leave Gaza, it means you saved my kids, not only from rockets, from starvation, but also as human reason, to keep them humans. Please help, please.
In 1938-9, the UK admitted European Jewish children, visa-free, to protect them from Hitler. The Kindertransport. It didn't save my mother's young brother and sister from Hitler's SS, but it did save 10,000 young lives. Since 2022, the UK has sheltered nearly 250,000 Ukrainians from Putin under special visa schemes. But since 2023, the UK has offered little or nothing to protect Palestinian children. I know good people who are struggling right now to create exactly the routes of rescue and support that Sami dreams of for his children. Their challenge is not Israel's government, but Britain's. The reality is that the UK was of course not complicit with Hitler, and equally is not complicit with Putin. But in the case of Netanyahu, shamefully, it remains complicit in arming, trading, and engaging with Israel to the extent of welcoming its president, Isaac Herzog, to Downing Street only this month. The man who said of Gaza Palestinians on October the 12th, 2023, "It's an entire nation out there that is responsible." That nation includes Sami Abu Salem and his family.
We do care about stopping war on Gaza, stopping genocide, stopping that war crime. So even 2 days ago, my kids were asking me, Daddy, UK, the owner of Balfour Declaration, they recognize Palestine as a state. I said, yes. The second question, is it going to help to stop the war on Gaza? I said, no, I'm not sure it is political. And they said, it is bullshit. Yeah, what about France? France, UK, Australia, Canada, Spain, and Portugal. They recognize Palestine as a state, and these states are important countries on the universal level. Does it mean that the war is going to stop? I said, I'm not sure. They didn't care about that. Who can put pressure on Netanyahu? Shall UK or USA exert real efforts? In my heart, I believe no. So war crimes continues because the issue is not the issue of 20 hostages in Gaza. It is an issue of uprooting Palestinian people from its land to expand the state of Israel. I believe that even my kids and myself are thinking, stop the war in Gaza. And I do not understand how the UK, the owner of Balfour Declaration, how do you feel when an entity called Israel is committing genocide or committing war crimes in Gaza, while this Israel is made by UK? Do the officials feel guilty or not? Why don't they tell Israel, stop targeting civilians? At least stop the war crimes. Why the UK is keeping silent? The recognition of the UK with Palestine as a state I think it is important. But on the practical level, what happened? Nothing. Ask your prime minister. Are they happy with what is happening? I'm not sure that they are happy, but I'm sure that UK can stop it. But it doesn't because of political interests. That's what I believe. Even now we hear that UK used UK planes for surveillance and collecting data to help Israel. To help Israel in what? To know where are the hostages? I'm sure that Israel know every single hostage, where is he. That's what I think. That's why I believe that the UK recognition of Palestine as a state is essential and very important, yes. But for me, as a guy who is living under rockets, I believe that stop killing Palestinian people in Gaza is more important than recognition with Palestine as a state. Because human being is more important than a political entity. So, the UK recognition is important, but the UK efforts to stop war is more important, as the most important. So, life is priority. I'm talking about UK officials, government, and whatever, to have much more dose of humanity in the morning, 2 cups or 3 cups of humanity, and exert efforts to stop killing, to stop genocide in Gaza, stop killing people. That's it. I'm not talking about what to do with Hamas or PA or President Abbas. No. Just stop killing people. That's it. Is it difficult to walk in the morning and to have a dose of humanity and call Israel to stop? I don't think that it is difficult.